Hey everyone, so this video is one that I've been meaning to and wanting to make for a while now. It's something that I've played over and over in my head, and over the past month I've really had some time to think about what I wanted to do with the future of my content and where I want to go from here. I've made videos like this in the past, but honestly, this is probably the most important one to me that I have made. This video was something that I initially thought about putting into a community post, but the more that I thought about it, the more I realized that the changes I would be wanting to make were something that I wanted to be very transparent about and didn't want to do it in a little text post or even just doing it behind the scenes without saying anything. I wanted to make it very apparent that I am not going anywhere. I am not going to be stopping making content anytime soon, but I do kind of want to take a new approach to how I do things. First and foremost, there will be zero changes to mini-mod reviews. The rhythm that I've gotten into of releasing 2 a week on Mondays and Thursdays has honestly been kinda perfect for me. I love making them, and 2 a week, for me, is just the right amount to where I don't feel burnt out of making them, but also am able to provide more than 1 a week for all of you to see. That specific series on the channel has been so fun for me, as not only has it introduced me to a ton of new mods that I simply didn't know existed, but also has allowed me to share them all with you. This might come as a surprise, but I love modded Minecraft, so being in a position where I can share my love for it with people who also love it is just so cool to me, and I am genuinely, eternally grateful for all of the support that those videos have brought in over the, 3 years that I've been making them now. With that being said, I want to get into the biggest change that I'm going to be making, which has to do with my long-form content. For essentially 3.5 years now, I have been doing weekly long-form uploads, minus a few weeks here and there where I had too much going on in my personal life or for school or whatever. I very much enjoy being able to get that much content out to you guys, but the reality is, and honestly, this was kinda hard for me to admit to myself, I am not really that happy with a decent chunk of the videos that I've been putting out. Not to say that they're bad or anything like that. Like, honestly, some of my favorite videos I have ever made have come out this year, along with some of my favorite projects that I've done, like the stuff on Recreate Season 2, which I'm actually going to talk about in a little bit. But even though some of the videos were fun to record, the final products just kind of felt like they were lacking to me. And while I am in no way going to get into the mindset of every video I make has to be the best video ever, I kind of just want the overall quality of my videos to be better and more fun for not only all of you to watch, but also more fun conceptually for me to fully flesh out into videos. Because of this, and how it's kind of been making me feel, I've decided that from now on, I am not going to be putting myself on a time constraint when it comes to long-form videos. I have so many ideas that I have wanted to do for a long time, but a lot of these have just gotten pushed into the save for later pile, and because I have a hard time working on more than one video at once, it was kind of just impossible for me to get to any of these bigger, higher quality video ideas that I had in just 1 week. Like the first video following this one, whenever that comes out, I actually made a thumbnail for back in January, like 11 months ago, in the hopes that it would push me to make that video, but the weekly format that I've been following, like I said, kinda just made it impossible for me to do that. Especially over the past couple months, I've had some ideas that I think would be really fun to do, but unless I was awake 24/7, it would be literally impossible for me to do any of these ideas in a week. So now, long-form content is just gonna come out whenever it's ready. Could be 2 or 3 weeks between, could be a month, but I don't really want to go longer than a month. Even that is almost kind of too long of a period between videos for me to be happy with my uploads. And this isn't to say that there won't ever be times where videos do come out for a couple weeks back to back. Sometimes I know that video concepts I have won't take as long as some others, but I want to approach my content now with more of a, this is really cool, or this concept is really fun and I want to show it off mindset, rather than what I was doing a lot of the time now, which is just searching for something I think I could make into a video and just kind of accepting that that would be the video for the week, even if I had something in mind that I thought was better but would just take too much time to do. Now that you all know my plan for the future of my content, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the stuff that I have going on currently, more specifically with the future of me and the Recreate SMP. I have loved being a part of it. I've met some amazing people. I have built some of my favorite things that I have ever made in survival Minecraft. But the kinda harsh reality of it is that the SMP is just kinda dead. Not in terms of the server itself not existing anymore, but in terms of people joining. For most recording sessions that I had, unless I specifically invited someone to be there with me, I was alone. I want to make something very clear though. I do not blame anybody for the direction that the SMP ended up going. It is very difficult to keep a world like that alive and thriving for such a long period of time, especially in multiplayer, because contrary to popular belief, most YouTubers actually have lives outside of content creation, and sometimes those lives just kinda get in the way of doing things. I know they have for me this year more than ever as I'm fully preparing to graduate college, and the sad effect of that is that fun projects like Recreate just might not be able to keep up fast enough for them to stay alive. A big part of me initially joining was I wanted to be a part of something really active, where I could join at any given time and there would be a handful of people online either doing their own thing or just chatting and hanging out with each other, but this sadly didn't really happen too often on Recreate, except for in like the really early days of both seasons. As those of you who have watched me play this season know, I had some pretty big plans for a mega base that I was going to build, but the reality is for me that over time, it got really hard to be motivated to actually want to make it. I'll show you guys on screen right now a layout that I'd actually started for the base, but I sadly never really got back to it and never finished it. As goofy as it may sound, I really wanted to build it and have it be like a landmark on the server where people would fly past and they would know that it was my base and stuff. But because it's not super active, and I too honestly probably wouldn't be around that much on the server, it would become kind of abandoned really fast, which is something that I just don't think I can justify putting so much time and effort into. Some of the videos that I made on there, especially with Season 2, were some of my favorite survival projects that I've ever had, and honestly, a lot of these videos were kind of a test for myself to do a better style of survival content than I had been doing before. With past series, most of the edits were just cuts, but with Recreate Season 2, I really wanted to make an effort to make things not only more fun to watch, but to also kind of incorporate some storytelling elements into stuff, which is, I kind of guess, subconsciously what pushed me into the decisions that I'm making for the future of my long-form content. At this point, I think I've basically covered everything that I wanted to talk about. As I go into year 5 of making videos, which is insane to think about, I just want to be able to provide all of you with the highest quality stuff that I possibly can, which basically means that I have to admit to myself that I may need to step out of my comfort zone a little bit to achieve that. It has taken a while for me to truly get into the headspace of really wanting to do that, but I would say now that I am incredibly excited to do so. Thank you all so much for watching, and I am so excited for the future.